Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you are new to my YouTube channel or to my Facebook page, my name is Ginger Pierce. I am an agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels. Marvelous Mouse Travels is an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is that we are recognized by Disney and trained by Disney to provide excellent customer service and to be experts in their vacation product. And so I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary with the agency. I am really thankful for the opportunity to get to help so many people plan magical Disney vacations. And tonight, I'm going to share with you some really exciting information that was released earlier today about one of Disney's seasonal events. That was a question that I got so much after the reopenings last year is when are the seasonal events going to come back? When can we look forward to themed, Halloween themed events or Christmas themed events. And so to have one of those to look forward to, and you can probably guess from my shirt what Halloween this is centered or what holiday this is centered around, we're just really excited to share this information with you about the return of seasonal events to Walt Disney World. So I'm joined tonight by my husband, Evan, my better half. We are going to chat about our experiences with events like this and what kind of some of our favorite things are and the things that hopefully you can look forward to enjoying with your family later this year. But this exciting news that was released today is that Disney's After Hours Boobash, we were given the dates, we were given the pricing, we were just given a whole lot more information about this Halloween event. And I know for a lot of people, the Halloween events are their absolute favorite events at Disney World. And so we're excited to kind of share some of that information with you. So Evan, what are your thoughts on Disney's Halloween events that we've done in the past? What are some of your favorite parts or the things that you look forward to the most?
Well, I think the thing that I enjoy the most, because this is going to be a little interesting. It's not the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party that everybody's used to. This is not that. It's also, about 2 years ago, Disney started a Villains After Hours event in Magic Kingdom. This is also not that. They've basically taken that After Hours event and the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party and combined them into this Villains After Hours event. So probably my favorite thing is the crowd levels. And after we give folks the information, I'll show you some photos of the crowd levels that we saw at the After Hours event and that kind of thing. So let's give them information first. We already have people jumping on here with us. We got a few folks watching with us already. The Parker Show said, hey guys, it's good to see you all. Nathan, you're back, buddy. Nathan joined us frequently during our Best Disney World Restaurant Challenge or tournament. And he always left us that comment every time. So you're still cool, Nathan. We appreciate you, man. Winter is joining us. Hey, Winter. That's one of Ginger's awesome clients. And so we're happy to have Winter with us. And so if you're joining us from anywhere, let us know you're here. It's always exciting to see people interacting with us in the comments. But I'm going to turn it over to Jen so she can share with you everything that you need to know about this event.
Yeah, so like Evan said, this event is really kind of a marriage of some elements of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and some elements of the Disney, particularly the Disney Villains After Hours event. So it's not a perfect, match of those two things. You're not taking every element of one and every element of the other and putting them together, but you're just kind of selecting, buffet style almost certain elements of each of those events. So this is a Halloween themed opportunity for your family to be in the Disney parks after the parks have officially closed for the day. And you get the opportunity to enjoy the parks at drastically lower crowd levels, which as a result means lower wait times, which is always a really fun opportunity. This is an extra hard ticketed event. And so this isn't something that your regular day pass, your regular park ticket is going to get you access to. This is something that you are going to have to pay extra on top of your park ticket in order to enjoy this event. But definitely from our experiences, the after hours events, the parties, they're always worth that extra fee, at least in my opinion, just because of that special aspect, access that you get to the parks, but also just the special themed experiences. So, Evan, would you go ahead and pop up that graphic that you have that has all of the different inclusions, all the different experiences that are part of this? So, what you can look forward to from this Halloween event are special themed cavalcades. We're going to have a Mickey themed cavalcade, which is going to have the Clubhouse Pals dressed up for the holiday. We're going to have a Nightmare Before Christmas cavalcade. We're going to have a Disney Villains cavalcade. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to see characters and to see characters maybe that you don't see out in the parks all that often, and to see them dressed in their Halloween finery. There's also going to be special character experiences throughout the parks. One of my favorites that they're doing again this year is the Cadaver Dance, which is the Halloween version of the Dapper Dans. And so they sing kind of spooky songs. They're dressed like ghosts. It's just one of the coolest aspects of these Halloween events in my experience. But you also get the opportunity to see a whole lot of characters that you might not necessarily ever get to see on like a regular park day. And so that's a lot of fun if you're looking for rare character interactions. You also get, this is something that is not typically part of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, but it is typically parts of those after hours events. And it's the select complimentary snacks. So you can get ice cream novelties. When we did the Villains After Hours, we could get unlimited Mickey premium bars, which is a pretty sweet deal, literally. You can get popcorn, you can get, beverages like soft drinks and bottled water and stuff like that included with the cost of your ticket, which is really nice if you consider the fact that a Mickey premium bar is like $5, maybe $6, I don't remember. But definitely, depending on how many of those you partake in, you can make a little bit of your money back that way. A variety of specialty food and beverages will be available for purchase. So they have really cute, like Halloween themed bakery treats, ice cream treats, things that you can purchase. We've gotten a couple of those at different events over the years, and they're always a lot of fun. They have special magical or spooky Disney photo pass shots. So in the past, there have been ones that featured Maleficent or Oogie Boogie or different characters that, if you have Memory Maker, typically you get that included with your downloads for Memory Maker. And then you do get the opportunity for the whole family to dress in costume. Now, there are some stipulations with this, and there are whole costume guidelines for what you can and can't wear, particularly as an adult in the Disney parks. And so if this is an event that you decide that you want to purchase tickets to, make sure that you either, if you're booking on your own, make sure you look up those costume guidelines. If you're booking through a travel agent like me, which is a great decision because it's not any more expensive, we're going to make sure that you're aware of those costume guidelines too, so that you don't have any sort of issues once you get to the park with what you're wearing. But that's the type of thing that you can look forward to taking place at this event. Evan, did you want to chime in about that?
Well, we've already got some folks jumping in on the comments. So the Parker Show said, dress family up in costume. Oh yeah. It's actually kind of funny. We probably the coolest ones, the most common ones are the Incredible family from the Incredibles, and people dress up in that. Lisa, they got back yesterday and they loved it. We're so glad. Thank you for hopping on with us tonight. We appreciate that. Mr. Water Twister said, thanks for the info. And he asked a great question. We got two great questions, one from Mr. Water Twister and one from Tori. And we're actually just about to talk about those things. So this transitions perfectly. Mr. Water Twister asked, how much is this event? And that's one of the things we're just about to talk about. We're glad you asked that. And Tori asked, how long will it last? Great question. That is a very good question. And we got a little lower third for that too. So we're about to answer that too.
Yeah. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and pop the dates up there so that everybody can see. This is starting to take place as early as August the 10th will be the first event. Typically, they are on Tuesdays and Fridays, but there are obviously a couple of exceptions to that. There are more events in October just because it is closer to Halloween. But you can see the dates up here. So select nights between August 10th and Halloween, which is October 31st. In terms of the pricing can be anywhere from $129 per person before tax to $199 per person. That is going to vary depending on the date. So obviously, if you're going in August it's going to be a little bit less expensive than if you're going closer to Halloween. And Halloween, is that night where it's going to cost you essentially $200 a person if you want to go for this event. So definitely, if you're looking to save a little bit of money, I would for sure try to sneak this event in like August or September, because not only are you going to pay a little bit less for it that way, but you're also going to have fewer crowds typically, because at least if what has held true in the past holds true again, the closer you get to Halloween, the more crowded that event does tend to get.
And most of the days are on Tuesdays and Saturdays, or is it Tuesdays and Fridays? It's one of the two.
Tuesdays and Fridays
Tuesdays and
usually.
Fridays.
Mhm.
And so definitely crowd levels will be better on Tuesdays. So if you can swing that, I would certainly recommend going on a Tuesday. And if you go earlier and like August, September, that kind of thing on a Tuesday night, it wouldn't be as hot because it's after hours. And so the park's already closed, so the sun's down, so it wouldn't be as hot, and there'd be less crowds. So that would be the best bang for your buck if you did it on early, like in August or September, and on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I totally agree. And in terms of how long the event lasts, it goes officially from 9 p.m. to midnight, but your not party ticket, your after hours. I'm going to say party a couple times because I'm gonna default back to Mickey's Not So Scary, but you can get into the park as early as 7 p.m. with your event ticket. And this does take place at Magic Kingdom. I don't know if we've mentioned that, but it takes place only at Magic Kingdom. And so, again, this is a hard ticketed event. There are only so many that they're selling for each night. And so that's one of the great perks of this in my experience, is that you do just have lower capacity even than you do during the day right now with the reduced capacity, because these ticketed events are intended to give you the opportunity to enjoy the parks in, with just less crowds. And so you can get a whole lot more done. So 9 p.m. to midnight is the official time, but you can get in as early as 7 p.m. with that event ticket. You do not need a park pass reservation in order to attend this event. And so that's something I know a lot of people were concerned about, is, am I going to have to use one of my park passes? Am I going to have to make sure that I do my Magic Kingdom park pass on the day of the event? Your park pass is really not impacted by this event, and this event does not require a park pass. So it would be totally doable for you to maybe spend the morning at Hollywood Studios, really even the whole day at Hollywood Studios, and then make your way over to Magic Kingdom, or, maybe go to Animal Kingdom and make your way over. So you don't have to do Magic Kingdom the day of the event. But obviously, if you're already in Magic Kingdom, it's going to be a little more convenient than having to make your way over from another park. But it is totally doable to do another park in the same day.
Now, some people may be wondering, well, how do they know? How do they know if you've paid for the after hour? If you can get in at 7 o'clock, how do they know that you've paid for the after hours event? Or can people just kind of like act like they paid for it and just hang out and wait after? So I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing they've always done in the past for after hours events or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. They give you a wristband that you wear around your wrist, and that signifies that you have paid for that event. And if you do not have that wristband, you're asked to leave the park, and so that people can't just hang around and try to stay. They really do control that capacity to an even lower amount of people than normal. And I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and show one photo now that kind of illustrates what we're talking about. So this photo you're going to see right here, this was a after hours event. This was the Villains After Hours it'd be June of 2019. And this is Ginger walking into Tomorrowland. That is not many folks in that photo. This next one, and I'll show you even more later, but this next one, this is kind of like the creme de la creme. This is Main Street, USA during the after hours event. Now, this was about, I want to say, just before midnight. Because the after hours event in June of 2019, I think it actually went to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And so this is just before midnight, so an hour before that event ended. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, all total, I'm counting, I think 10, maybe 11 guests, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cast members.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy town.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you know,
amazing.
yeah. And, one thing I'll say, because I think a lot of people, and a totally normal question that you might be asking is, they're already keeping capacity lower right now because of health and safety protocols. So is it as worth it to do an event like this when you can enjoy lower crowd levels anyway? And, Evan and I have been back several times since the reopening. We went in September of 2020. We went again in December. We just got back last week from Disney and Universal, and we're going back next week because I'm working down there on a new, exciting, fun project for our agency with another group of agents. I know people are like, "Oh, you're working at Disney. Poor you." I know. But like we've been down several times, and so we have gotten
It
to.
legitimately is work, but it's pretty sweet work, to be honest with you. It's pretty sweet.
It is. But we have been there with reduced capacity multiple times. And having experienced that and experienced these ticketed events, I would totally do the ticketed event. Like I would 100% recommend it because I do think that it's just a different experience, and there's more to it than just the crowd levels being lower or just the wait times. Like there's just those fun extra themed experiences. It just feels different than like a normal day in the park. So these, oh, go ahead.
I totally agree. I mean, it is, especially if you're able to get it at the 129 price. I mean, 200, that's a lot. Let's be honest. But the 129 all the way up to like 150, it legitimately would be worth that because, I mean, you get 5 hours in the park, 3 of which there's not many people there. And we actually just had a question come through, and I'll answer that now. Would all rides be open?
So I don't believe all the rides were, but they said that there are approximately 20, and it's a lot of the more popular ones. So the
Yes.
ones you would want to ride, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So the big
Thunder
ones that you're,
Mountain.
the big ones that you're probably thinking, oh, I hope that one's open. It probably would be.
Yes, it would
Mhm.
be. Somebody else said, let's see, the Parker Show said, guess I never knew it started that earlier. August seems early. Yeah, actually, a couple
Yeah.
of years ago, they started doing it like August 15th was the first
Yeah,
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Yeah, Halloween at Disney starts in August and pretty consistently. Yeah.
This is a very good question. Will Magic Kingdom close early on the days that the event is?
So it did close early for Mickey's Not So Scary. Technically, it is not closing early for this because this starts once the park has already closed for the day. So typically, park close for Magic Kingdom in that season is about 9 p.m. anyway. So if and that's that is something to take into account because back when we had Mickey's Not So Scary, which started at 7 p.m. usually, the park did close early. And so, I would always recommend to my clients, if you're not going to the party, don't do Magic Kingdom on that day. And I don't think that you really necessarily have to worry about that with this because you're
Right.
still going to get your good, scheduled park time, even if you're not participating in this event. But that's a good question.
Mr. Water Twister said, separate issue. When do you think the Disney dining plan will be built? That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. And obviously I don't have, any official word from Disney on this. So just know that what I'm saying now is my own personal opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong. But I don't think they'll bring it back until most of the restaurants, if not all of the restaurants, have reopened. Just because, they do want you to get the value out of the dining plan. And so because there is limited capacity in the restaurants and not all of the restaurants, and a lot of the restaurants are open, but not all of the restaurants are. So I personally don't think that we'll see the dining plan come back until we have at least most of the restaurants reopened. But again, that is just my own personal opinion, and I could be 100% wrong about that. They could bring it back tomorrow for all I know.
But that makes sense that they wouldn't bring it back till more places are open. Earlier, Mr. Water Twister said, "Nice." He's excited about the price and the things that it comes with, all the inclusions. So that's cool. That's about the time that he posted that. Let's see. I'm loving all the interaction. This is great. Now we got 2 questions that are very similar, so I'm going to put both of them up on the screen, and then we can answer them both. So let's see. Lee said, when do tickets go on sale? And we're about to tell you that. And the similar question was from Krista. And she said, is there a calendar that will show the cost for a particular day? Also, if we have already have Memory Maker purchased and decide to do this, will it cover the Boobash as well? That's a great question.
Yeah, all of those are good questions. So I'll take the first one first. I'll take Lee's question first. So the official open to the general public, anybody can buy a ticket to this event is June 15th. Okay, so ticket sales will start for everybody on June 15th. If you are staying at select resorts, if you have a stay booked at select resorts, you can start purchasing these tickets a week earlier on June 8th. So if you want more information about that, definitely go to GingerMMT.com, click get a free quote, or email me at ginger@marvelousmousetravels.com, and we can kind of work through all of that stuff together as to whether or not your stay qualifies for that early purchase date. But for most people, it's going to open on June 15th, which is just, what is today? I don't even know what today is. It's about 2 weeks away, a little less than 2 weeks away, I think. Or no, it is maybe. I don't know. What day is it? It's summer. Who knows
It's
what
June
day it is,
2nd.
right? Okay. There you go.
All right. And let's see here.
And what was that other question here? Is there
a calendar?
Is there a calendar that will show the cost for the particular day? So in the past, yes, there has been. Like when I go in to purchase the tickets on behalf of a client, or if the client, if someone decides they want to book it on their own, typically there is a calendar that shows, just like there is with regular park tickets, that shows like the dated cost of that ticket. There usually is for this as well.
Can
in regards
we assume
to
that would probably show up on like the 15th?
Yeah, we can assume that would probably show up on the 15th if tradition holds from previous years. And the same thing, I do not have official information as to whether or not Memory Maker will cover the pictures taken at the Boobash, but I can tell you in years past, it has. That would just be something that we would have to check into for sure for this year, because I haven't seen that officially come from Disney, but that's definitely something that we could verify. And like I said, in years past, it has covered it.
Here's a very good question. Is the Snow White meal at Artist Point open yet?
It's
an
not.
excellent question.
Yeah, it is not opened yet, and I'm sad about that because that's one of my favorites.
Everybody's sad about that one.
Yeah.
That place is awesome.
It is awesome. It is so much fun. If you've not watched it, we have a review of that on the channel. And Evan and I both just rave about how good the food is, how good the experience was, which it is one of my favorite character meals. I hope they bring it back really, really soon because I miss it.
Literally the best entree I've ever ordered at Disney World came at the Snow White character meal at Artist Point.
It was really good.
Let's see. Mr. Water Twister has an excellent question. What's the cancellation policy for the Boobash?
So this is a ticket-only event, and so it would be the same cancellation policy in all likelihood. Again, I have not seen the tickets yet, so I haven't seen the exact terms, but I'm assuming that it's probably the same as a regular ticket policy where it's non-refundable once purchased.
And we have another really good question. Here, I'll come back on the screen. There I am. Let's see. Parker Show said we'll be able to see the villain/special characters in a meet and greet.
So they are doing the villains as a cavalcade from what they have released. That doesn't mean that there won't be other, characters kind of wandering about in the park, but I don't anticipate having up close character meet and greets a la years past. I think it would probably be, a socially distant character experience. But I'll tell you, we just, like I mentioned, we just got back from Disney just a few days ago, and we did Chef Mickey while we were there. And I know it was a modified experience, but I still loved it. Like, Evan and I have done a lot of character dining. We've done a lot of character dining with our kids. We did it pre-COVID. We've done it post-COVID. And I loved Chef Mickey just as much as some of the ones that I had done, prior to the shutdowns and everything. So just because it's a socially distanced encounter doesn't mean that it's a lesser one. I think it's all what you and the characters make out of it, and so that's kind of what I would expect to be in place for this.
Yeah, that Chef Mickey's character meal was a whole lot of fun. They were very interactive with our kids. And even some of them, like, for example, I almost put this photo on here and I should have done it, but from the Villains After Hours event in June of 2019, lately you've been seeing the Disney princesses and other characters in Magic Kingdom line up along the railing at the entrance at the train station in Town Square. And when we were leaving that night from the Disney Villains After Hours event, there were several villains lined up along that railing up there at the train station, interacting with people, talking to everybody as they're leaving. We've gotten to experience that a few times now. Like on our channel, there is a video from December where we were doing a vlog in Magic Kingdom, and our daughter saw Piglet up on that railing, and it was the cutest interaction. I mean, like she was like beside herself. She was so excited to see Piglet. She's like, Piglet, like that, and Piglet was going looking at her like, oh, and he was blowing her kisses, and she was like so excited. So I would fully expect to see those characters up on that railing on the train station. I would guarantee, I can't guarantee, but I would be shocked if they weren't up there, and you can certainly interact with them that way. Obviously the cavalcades and everything. It'll be interesting to see if they do have characters strategically positioned throughout the park, like in years past, and maybe you can get like a socially distant interaction with them. And if it's not a, I can't remember the name, fur character, is that what they're called?
Yeah. Face characters and fur characters.
That's right. So if it's a face character, like a princess or Gaston or something like that, which at this event it would be Gaston, or I don't know, some of the other face characters who are villains, maybe the evil queen might be there, then you would be able to interact with them from a distance. We've seen that in Epcot. Every once in a while in Norway, Anna or Elsa comes out on that little stoop, I guess, outside or porch outside their summer house, and from a distance interacts with people. So it'll be interesting to see if they do some of that. But obviously I'm just speculating here. But I would be shocked if they weren't up on that railing as you leave, at least.
Yeah, I would think so too. Obviously we don't know for sure, but we think so.
Tori said she found out about the Snow White character meal by watching our videos. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We so appreciate that. We love that, man. We love getting to help people and help people understand, about the parks and maximize their experience in the parks. So we thank you so much for that. Let's see. Mr. Water Twitch said, thank you so much for the info. Absolutely. Absolutely. No Parker says it was an awe moment. Seriously, when she was talking with Piglet. If y'all haven't seen that, if anybody watching hadn't seen that video, go find that video. Yep. It is.
She's adorable. Also hilarious on Dumbo.
Yes,
it's absolutely hilarious on Dumbo. Obviously, we're biased because she's our daughter, but
objectively speaking, it was hilarious. It is the funniest, probably 6 minutes of any video we've ever. It's funnier than the blooper one we did on the 1-year anniversary of our channel. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely hilarious. What all she said riding Dumbo. It is hilarious. So if you haven't found that video, go check it out and at least watch that 6 minutes near the end when she's on Dumbo. It's so funny. Krista said, any insight on how small kiddos handle these events after a day? Oh, what a good question.
Yeah, really
very good question.
So I can answer that one from personal experience, having taken my small children to both the Halloween party and the Christmas party after a full day in the parks. And I will say that my children made it, because the way that they used to do Mickey's Not So Scary was they would do like an early parade, a late parade, and stuff like that. And so we stayed the whole time. And I want to say that the late parade was at like 11 p.m. The party ended at midnight. Our kids were passed out during the second parade. So they were champs, they made it until about an hour before the event was over. But they're so like they're so stimulated by all of the different things that there are to see and do, that it wasn't like, at least in our experience, it wasn't like they were exhausted or bored or cranky or anything like that. They were, they were really intrigued by what was going on, and they enjoyed it quite a lot. So, but I mean, definitely it's a good event if you have a rest day. It's a good event to do on a rest day, because then you
Absolutely.
can spend, maybe the morning at the pool or something like that, and then have dinner, make your way over to the event, and not have to worry about that necessarily. But like I said, we have done those marathon days with our kids, and they were fine. They lasted almost the whole time.
And that's one really good point, is that this event, like we said, it's kind of combining things that we've seen in the past. And I'll put some photos up here, but like, for example, in the past at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, there were treat stops where you could go and they would hand out treats, like you're trick or treating, you go do that. In the after hours event, there was stuff included, food included, like Mickey premium bars. I mean, hello, that's awesome. We intentionally got our money's worth out of that. And then there was like popcorn that was included, all these things, some drinks, like soft drinks, I think were included. Was that included? I think that was included.
Yeah, soft drinks, bottled water.
Yeah.
Basically, most of the things you can get at the little kiosks, but not like the churros, the pretzels. It was mostly like the popcorn, the ice cream treats, and the drinks were included.
And so, with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, you got all of those treat stations. That's what I was looking for. All the treat stations. And here's a photo from one of the Halloween parties. This was right before. You can tell this was pre-COVID, because
for sure.
Yeah, this was during a parade.
Yep. This right here is why we don't do parades right now, because look at all those people gathered together.
Exactly. And they have these villains balloons and that kind of thing. This was also at a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And so you get those treat stations from the Halloween party, but then you also get the free food, like at the Disney Villains After Hours event. So you're combining, if you like food, dude, this is for you. I mean, you get all your kids, your kids get to do all the trick-or-treating while they're eating a Mickey premium bar.
I don't know that they are doing the trick-or-treating for this.
I thought that was the thing.
No, because I did not. Well, initially, when they first released information about this about a month ago, they did mention treat stations. But in this most recent press release today, I didn't see that. So I don't know if maybe that's something that they changed, or maybe the treats they were referring to were the popcorn and the ice cream.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
I don't really know. But yeah, I didn't see mentions of treat stops and everything today, because that was one thing that really surprised me. I was like, wait a second, where did that go? But I can only assume that maybe the treats they were talking about were like the popcorn and stuff like that. Your reputation precedes you, babe. He does love a Mickey premium bar. That's for sure. They are to him what cheeseburger spring rolls are to me. So
that's true. That's true. It's just something, I don't know what it is, but just being in the shape of Mickey's head that makes it taste better. I don't know why, but it's so good. So that, I hope that they have the treat. But anyway, so you at least get all the free Mickey premium bars, popcorn. I think cotton candy was one of the things in the years past. I don't know if that'll be this year or not. But at least there's at least Mickey premium bars and ice cream novelties. Those ice cream sandwiches, I think that was one of the ones in the past.
Yeah, there was a little Olaf, like a frozen strawberry Olaf something. That one was kind of gross, but the Mickey premium bars and the ice cream sandwiches are good. And the popcorn, I mean, theme park popcorn is almost as good as movie theater popcorn. So if you're a popcorn fan.
So there's plenty of food. So if you enjoy getting food, if your kids enjoy Mickey premium bars, this would certainly be a good thing for them. They would be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the Parker show. They just saw it and they went back. Oh, thank you.
She's a funny kid.
She is, man. She's a trip. So yeah, seriously, just like them, if you haven't already seen it, I promise it'll just make your day. Like, it'll just make you smile. It's hilarious. Let's see. Any other photos that I haven't shown? Oh, this is a good photo for you to see. So this was from the After Hours event in June of 2019.
Mhm.
And you will notice right here in the hub how few people.
Oh, yeah.
This was, and what's even more interesting about this, if you look in the background, you'll see a kind of a row of folks back there.
Mhm.
So this was, people were lining up for one of the two parades in that After Hours event.
Mhm.
Now, if you compare that with this photo,
Mhm.
this is from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Look at all the people that were in the Halloween party lined up for the parade. Then look at the comparison.
Mhm.
Both of these are from 2019, by the way.
Yeah.
And so look at the comparison in how few people were there for the After Hours event
Mhm.
compared to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So if you are used to the crowds, the crowd levels at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and you're like, well, those aren't that bad compared to normal days, the crowds are going to be even lower than that at the After Hours event
Mhm.
when you look at those two photos. Because this was, the parade was literally about to come right around the hub there, and this is the
Mhm.
people who were lined up for it.
Yeah, and that's one thing we forgot to mention is part of those cavalcades is gonna be that really cool Maleficent Dragon, that used to be part of the, Festival of Fantasy parade and also was a big part of the, I guess you could say parade, really more of a cavalcade for that After Hours event, but they, they brought her down and she was kind of the fixture of it. So she will be also there at the Halloween or the, After Hours event. I keep saying
It
Halloween party, but it's
When
not.
that dragon breathes fire at
It's pretty
nighttime,
cool.
it's
It's really neat.
really fascinating. I mean, like it's cool in the daytime,
Yeah.
but when it lights up the night with that
Mhm.
fire, it's really neat.
It's very cool. So I'm really excited about this event. I have, like I've said, we have done kind of both things that are part of this. We've done the Mickey's Not So Scary and a lot of those themed things. We've also done the Villains After Hours. So I'm excited to kind of see how those things come together or elements of those things come together in this event. I'm also very excited to see the return of seasonal events at Walt Disney World. Obviously, I don't know this for sure, but I hope that this is a good sign for maybe some holiday themed events towards the end of the year. That would hopefully be something that we would love to see come back as well. But just, a reminder, if you're jumping in late and you're just now joining us, know that these tickets do go on sale for everybody on June 15th. And so it is a product that I am able to sell. And so if you're interested in working with me to plan your vacation or going through me to get your event tickets, you can do that for the same exact price that you would pay on Disney's website to get those on your own. And yet you're going to get, tips, tricks, insider information. I'm going to make sure you understand the costume guidelines and all of that kind of stuff so that you walk in prepared to make the most of the time that you have there. And so if you would like to get on my list for quotes when these tickets go on sale on June the 15th, you can go over to GingerMMT.com and you can just click get a free quote in the upper left-hand corner. And then I will have it all ready to go whenever those are available for us to start to sell. So I'm really excited about this event. If you joined us tonight, particularly if you left a comment or asked a question, thank you so much for doing that. We always enjoy getting to spend time talking with people and answering questions. So Evan, do you want to say anything as we wrap up or before we take it out for the evening?
I hope everybody has a great evening and a great tomorrow. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow,
That's
and
right.
shining at the end of every day. I hope I don't get like a copyright claim for that. I don't think I will.
All
But
credit to Disney for
yeah,
that.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. No, but seriously, we really do enjoy having everybody meet with us, and no exaggeration. Like it really does cost you nothing extra to book with Ginger. I know that
Mhm.
you hear us say that and stuff, but that's for real. And people say, how can that be? Well, it's because they build the price of a travel agent into what you pay them, no matter what, because they know you might use a travel agent. So they build the price of that agent into your what you pay them, whether you use the agent or not. And so if you use the agent like Ginger, then they would just pay her the commission that they've already built into the travel agent commission that they've already built into the price you pay them. If you don't use a travel agent like Ginger, then they just keep that money. Like they're like, oh, thanks, and they
Mhm.
just keep it. So,
Yep,
like it really does cost you no extra to use her. Seriously,
it's true.
so it's a no brainer. It's a win 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 for all you Office fans out there. It's a win win win. Um, but
That's
So
true.
I'm just being honest, aren't I? I mean, like Sarah knows, she knows that it's free.
Yep.
So I appreciate that very much. She's easy to hype up. She's pretty cool. She works hard for her clients too. So we appreciate that. But we seriously, we thank everybody for watching tonight. We hope all of you have a great evening, and we will see you soon. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Tomorrow, be looking for tomorrow. We're going to release a vlog on the channel tomorrow
Yeah.
that we take you inside the brand new Universal Studios store. We also, I know this is about Disney, but we also take you through the queue at Velocicoaster. You get to see the new stuff in the Velocicoaster. And we eat at Toothsome, and we got to eat at this like catwalk thing up on the second level. It was kind of wild, but I got video of it. So
cool.
Be looking for that tomorrow, and then on the day after that, there will be a YouTube short released about kyber crystals that are now available at a much easier to access location. And then the day after that, there'll be another vlog. So a lot of stuff coming.
And also, too, speaking of Velocicoaster, which the official opening date of that, they have been doing some soft openings the past couple of weeks, but the official open date is June the 10th. And so we will actually be at Universal.
We're going to be there, baby.
Opening. Yeah, we'll be live streaming from the parks on the official open date. So we'll kind of show you what the crowd levels look like, you know, and a little bit more information. If you missed it, Evan released kind of a review of the coaster and also just some tips for riding it. You know, he's ridden it a couple of times now, and so he lets you know what's the best row to sit in, what's the best line to go through, you know, all of the tips that you would want to know if you want to take part in Velocicoaster. So if you missed that, definitely check that out as well. And I think that if you're a roller coaster fan, this is definitely one that you don't want to miss. If you're a chicken like me, you'll sit and take pictures and wait for your spouse to get off of the ride. But if you love especially intense coasters, I think this is going to be one you're going to love a whole lot. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching us, and we will see you later.